really don't want to. I want you to.
Why? All right, fine. What's up, guys? It's your Doorstep Disciples on the road again.
Quarters of a mile. Turn left on
But this time, not discipling.
Yeah, if there's an Australian man that pops up every now and then, that's Mary Beth's GPS and her sorry excuse for a Siri voice.
Hey, look, you got no man, you gotta use Australian voice when you can.
All right, that's fine.
Yep.
So we're here to answer some questions. Yeah, I know, I see that.
All right.
So we have them all printed out. Mary Beth's gonna just ask them out, and we'll answer them to the best of our ability.
May the odds be ever in our favor. Okay, Joseph asked, what are you doing this Lent?
You're still on the fastest route.
There's a hazard ahead of 3 miles, but we're still on the fastest route. Okay, Joseph asked, what are you doing this Lent? Are you giving something up? Or are you doing something extra holy?
Okay. You wanna go first?
Okay, so actually for Lent, I gave up biting my nails because I am addicted to biting my nails. But I also took on eating 3 meals a day because I don't eat 3 meals a day. I tend to not eat 3 meals a day, and I started doing the Whole30 to figure out what my stomach problems are. So I'm eating a lot healthier, but a lot less candy and sugar and calories, which is sad because I want a big old Reese's, but I can't get it or eat it.
That's great. I mean, I probably should have gotten rid of sugar too. But no, it's so I'm giving up social media, specifically Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and uneducational YouTube. That last one hit really hard because I didn't realize until I started Lent that I am on YouTube a lot. Now, this counts as educational YouTube because we're answering questions for your education. So I like to think that also just for the sake of keeping up our channel and not letting it die, that uploading Doorstep Disciple videos counts as an exception. But educational videos count, and educational means Father Mike Schmitz. 100% would recommend.
Yes, what a man.
All right.
Okay, ready to move on to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay, Emily asked, who is my daughter in Awakening, what a woman.
Shout out to Emily.
What a beautiful lady. She said, if you could spend the day with God, what would you do? That was her question.
Turn left onto Montgomery Highway.
Oh, what? Okay. Spend the day with God? Well, after I finish crying, I would probably, I'd be like, hey, God, listen, do you have like a minute or the rest of this 23 hours that I haven't cried to answer my questions about you, the universe, and everything? I just want a whole bunch of questions answered, and then just, I don't know. Yeah, I just have like a list of questions. I don't know. What would you do? What would you do?
I think I'd just sit there and talk and just tell him how much I loved him, because words is my love language. So like, just to talk and have someone tell me they love me, for me to tell someone I love them, means a whole lot more than
stay in the second lane from the right.
Walking beside him or behind him.
So
I don't know.
cool.
Yeah, that would be so amazing.
That's such a cool thing to think about.
In half a mile,
Yes!
right to Mercy by 459 south towards Tuscaloosa.
Oh my gosh, we see him in Mass every Sunday.
That's
like
true.
So like,
Can't take that for
dress
granted.
modestly in Mass, guys, because you're encountering Christ. Next question. Okay.
Go for it.
Michael asked, how do you bring someone into the faith when they're not very religious?
Ooh.
So, I have thoughts on this one.
I think there's another question after that too.
There is. We have two from him. Do you want me to say it together?
Yeah, I think they go hand in hand.
Okay, the second one is, how do you authentically live out your faith?
All right, so.
What I feel like when you're trying to bring someone into the faith who is not very religious is you actually have to have a relationship with the person. And you can't just go to them and be like, hey, you should come to Mass with me because we have the truth and the church you're going to doesn't. Like, you can't say that. I mean, you have to be able to know where they're at in their faith, meet them where they're at. Sometimes that means keeping your mouth shut about things and just listening to them and bringing them to Mass. Or, I mean, people respond to kindness better than abrasiveness.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So that's my thought. And then how to live out your faith authentically. I just am very honest with people that I'm extremely Catholic, and at school when I give art projects and they have religious pieces in them, it's because I'm extremely Catholic and I'm very proud of it. And I think it's just not being afraid to hide that part of you away, like to actually have that coming out not be afraid that people are gonna be concerned about, because they will, and it stinks, but honestly, if you can bring one other person out of their little shell with their faith, then you've done a good job by the grace of God.
Oh, for sure. Those are all great points. And I think, in my opinion, the two go hand in hand. Because there are a lot of, at my school, there are a lot of Protestants, and there are a lot of fallen away Catholics who just aren't practicing. I feel like it's not my job to convert hearts, it's God's. I can only plant the seeds. So I can invite them to Mass every now and then. I can just say, hey, we have Mass at St. Thomas around this time. If you ever want to go, just call me or, whatever. And then I'll just let that sit, and I'll let God do the rest. Living out your faith is, if you're really like striving for holiness, you really want to live out your faith, people will notice that, because the light of Christ is contagious. And I 100% believe that, because I caught that beautiful disease. And it's such a great thing when you find people living out their faith, because it really, you see that and you're like, man, these people are so happy, and I want what they have. That's how I came to grow more as a Catholic, and I think that's what we can do for people who we may find that aren't really practicing or have no interest in it. So.
Absolutely. So just let God we can plant the seed as a vessel for God, but let God do all the rest.
And pray for them. Definitely pray for them.
Oh, good one. You got to pray for them. Mm-hmm. Even before you do anything, you got to pray.
Right.
So we got another question from Mallory.
All right.
She asked, does Jesus have a guardian angel?
Go for it.
Okay. Did you research this one?
I did, but I want you to go. I want you to do your research first.
Okay, so what I researched was, because he was human, he may have had a guardian angel, and some people say it was St. Michael. There is also talk that if he did not need a guardian angel, he would not have received the help or assistance of one in the Garden of Gethsemane. Now, this is not like church teaching or anything, it's just what I saw when I was looking up. I don't know the church's standpoint on it, but that's what I have seen, is that there is talk that he did have one. The angel would not have protected his divinity, but it would have protected his humanity, because he was fully human and fully divine.
Right. So, yeah, while there is no clear church teaching on this subject, it's reasonable to believe that Jesus did have a guardian angel assigned to him to protect his humanity from the moment of his conception. And that's also, it's backed up by the teaching of the church that says that every human being at the moment of their conception is assigned a guardian angel to protect them. So if every human on earth has one, why wouldn't Jesus have one? Or multiple. So, and there are multiple Bible verses to back up Jesus interacting and having angels come to his aid. You mentioned the Garden of Gethsemane, and so that's when the angel came down while Jesus was praying to God, saying, Lord, if it be your will, take this chalice from me. So in the Gospel of Luke. And then the angel came down to strengthen him. And that's when he prayed more intensely and started to sweat drops of blood. Also in Matthew chapter 4, when Jesus was tempted by Satan in the desert, right after the fact, it says angels came down and ministered to him. So Jesus always had guardian angels at his beck and call. He always had those ready to be with him and to help him and provide him, because it's incredibly difficult, the toll that Jesus in his humanity and his divinity as well, but especially his humanity, what he was put through. So he needed help from guardian angels, and we should too. So
good job learning all that scripture.
I mean, you gotta cite your sources.
Okay, so we have another question. I don't know who this is from, but they asked what our favorite musical artist was.
Oh, favorite musical artist?
Like, it totally
like, well, I have a favorite drummer, I have a favorite singer, I have a favorite guitarist, and I'm just like, well, that really doesn't narrow it down so much because Josh Groban is my favorite singer.
I love Josh Groban so much.
He has the golden voice in my opinion.
So good.
And then favorite drummer is Neil Peart from Rush, and then favorite guitarist is Eric Johnson. All fantastic musicians. But I guess as far as artists, well, since this is a Christian channel, my favorite Christian artist is Matt Maher. Second only to Need to Breathe. So, love both of those guys.
Ooh, yes. I think my favorite group is Anthem Lights.
That's so solid.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're awesome. But artists, I don't know. I love Lauren Daigle.
I have a lot of Lauren Daigle on my playlist, actually.
Yeah, she's amazing. Her voice.
She's the Christian Adele. I mean,
She's literally the Christian Adele. If you put them side by side, singing the same song, right? You never know. They're both so good.
Nice.